sure. All right, I think this thing is working, hopefully. It says I've been live for about 8 or 10 seconds. This is the first live stream on YouTube, so I'm happy everybody's here with me. I'm going to answer some questions after. There's a little section on the right where you can type in your questions so that we're all on the same page. There are a few things I'm going to talk about first today. First off, for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Matt, okay? I'm here for two reasons. The first reason, I'm here to simplify everything that I see about the market, make predictions, show you guys what I'm seeing to help teach you and simplify the ways that you learn about the stock market and make decisions. Number two, I'm here to level the playing field. I used to be on the bad side, now I'm on the good side. I'm here to educate. There are 30 to 50 million new traders out there, and I'm here to make sure you guys are learning the right way and learning to trade the right way and can be profitable traders. Quick fact, 90% of day traders, actively traders in the market, lose money. Fact, 90% of my trades are profitable. So, I mean, if you're here to learn, that's great. If you want to look at my other videos, that's great as well. I gave a video on Bitcoin. I gave a video on how I manipulated the market. But enough of that. Let's talk about what we saw today, okay? So first thing we saw in the morning or today in the entire market was the exact same pattern that we saw on both Thursday and Friday. The markets open higher, we see one morning dip, we see a second morning dip, and then when we think that the market's going to recover because we're working on a swing trade, it just doesn't happen. The market just flattens out later in the day. So what is that telling me? Well, history repeats itself. So what am I looking for tomorrow? The exact same thing. I expect the market to open up higher. Okay, I'm looking for some type of spike before 10:30, and then I'm looking for the market to sell off. So any options or open positions I have, I'm probably going to look to close out and get back in cheaper. I speak about a lesson on my platform 349 Trading, which is improving your portfolio position, meaning you sell at a spike, you buy it back lower. Okay, and now I'm going to speak about some specific stocks and positions today to help you guys follow along, and then again we'll get into questions. I do want to get into questions today. I've got my phone right beside me, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to let you guys ask questions, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I see for those specific stocks. So we're going to speak about a lot of stocks today. Unlike other gurus, I'm not here to pump a stock to you, have you guys invest, and then dump it. I give you guys, well, the ones on my platform, I give you my alerts, I show you and I teach through transparency, I show you my trades, and a lot of you, there's a 10-minute rule that exists, which means after 10 minutes, then I give an alert. The stock usually goes down a whole bunch. So some of you get in 5% to all the way to 25% better. I am not looking at side comments. I guess someone's telling me that there's a bit of an echo or something like that. It was a lot worse earlier today. Let me just make sure my volume is maxed out, which it's not, of course. Oh, there is an echo, I hear it. All right, so hopefully it's not the worst thing in the world. It's annoying to me, though. So let's talk about some of my positions today. So the TQQQ, I said it could be a quick swing trade when the ETF was a little under 108. I tried to get it at 290. I missed on that call. It went all the way as high as 350. But I tell you, we don't change our bid prices. We don't chase. We don't pay the ask. If it's meant to be, the stock will come back down. If we come up with a big price originally, that's because we felt comfortable with it. So what happened is, I forgot to cancel my order. I thought I did. I got the $2.90 calls, so I'm looking for the tech to recover tomorrow. So real quick, as I showed you guys, this morning on the private platform, again, I'm sorry to mention it, I showed you a picture of the Dow and a picture of the NASDAQ. And I mentioned that we spiked on Friday and saw highs. And after we spike, it usually dips back. So not to be surprised today if we saw a bit of a dip. It was a little more than I thought. But again, we are in a bullish market. You have to be extremely cautious with the stocks that you choose. There was a lot of profit taking today. So you look at the best in class stocks like NVIDIA, lots of profit taking. There were a few others. Anyway, we swung into Ford options. The $11 calls, again, expiring at the end of the week, as I expected the Dow to recover. The great news is we called the bottom because as I look at Ford right now, it's $12.08. We paid $1.05 to $1.07. I paid $1.07. Some of you got in at $1.05. It's the $11 calls. So right now the value has to be at least $1.08. So we're profitable. We're not much profitable, but it was a tough market. The next play was the alert over the weekend for Futu, F-U-T-U. It exploded today. It exploded this morning. And then I mentioned I got in my first position at $163.63. With that said, I alerted this stock a few other times later in the day, and I showed you guys the demand that I was seeing, and I think it closed. Let's see where it closed. Futu, 177.92. Wow, 178 basically. So I mean, I gave the follow-up alert when it broke 170, and that wasn't an alert. That was just a follow-up. Look at the demand, and it increased another $7, which is what, another 4.5%, I guess. With that said, a strong second is Tiger, T-I-G-R, which is my favorite stock of the year, and it will continue to be my favorite stock of the year. What do I see for Tiger? Let's talk about it. First of all, huge demand. It's a cheaper version of Futu. I expect extremely strong earnings. So specifically what I'm looking for in this stock is by the time my options expire, which expire May 21st, I'm hoping this stock should be north of $27, meaning the options that we purchased at $17.50 strike price are worth somewhere in the range of $9.50 to $10. Again, people on my platform, I mentioned that I bought in for these at $2.80 and $2.90. Guess what happened on this morning's dip? A few of you put in bids for $2.80. And what happened when the stock was 18 and change? It got hit. So it was amazing. You guys got great pricing. I don't know where the options ended up, but I know I saw them a little north of $4 at $4.30 at one point. So let's say they, came back to earth a little and finished at $4. So you bought at $2.80, they're $4. You're making $120 per, which is a little over 40%. Again, this is a single day trade. Some of you mentioned to me that you sold your position and you took profit. Nothing is wrong with that. However, this is my favorite stock, TIGR. So again, I'm expecting 27. When it crosses 27, as long as earnings are strong, demand is strong, I don't see any reason why it won't cross 30 and probably make its way up to $34, $35 a share. With that said, I might roll over my options. So once I exit out of the position, which means once I sell my long call option position, which I'll probably do closer to the expiration date, which is May 21st, I'll sell those on a peak a couple days before, and then I'll look to buy the Junes back, the same expiration, for a little less, or maybe the same price, because I'm basically buying the extra month, but since I sold on the peak and I'm buying at the dip, hopefully I can get the same price. Excuse me. 3 stocks that I gave out as alerts that I was entering into today were Futu, as I mentioned, and again, unlike other gurus, I give you guys my alerts pre-market, after hours, or during the weekend, because that's when I do my research. That's when I do charting. So for anybody unfamiliar with math, who I am, I see demand, I see volume, I see patterns, and I see them first. So when I notice something, that's when I alert people. When I see the charts are moving in the right direction for me, I'm looking for the dip, so I'm planning ahead to buy. So what I speak about real quick is just entry point. So I bring up the example of the Tiger options. They were trading north of $3, yet we had an entry point of $2.80 in case the stock dipped. So we always plan ahead. And most important for anybody following my platform or anybody just watching this video is entry point. Entry point, entry point, entry point. I can't say it enough. Having a strategy is very important, and being correct about the stock is also very important. All right, I'm getting some type of error message. Just give me 1 second. Error, YouTube is not receiving enough video. Hopefully it still goes. All right, so let's just continue this and hope that it's still there. I wanted to talk about also, let's talk about EBON real quick. So I entered into an EBON position of $5 calls for, again, the May strike date. I paid $62 or 62 cents, but $62 per contract. I only bought 5 of them. I spent $310. Again, I'm not saying that EBON is going to spike north of $5. What I'm saying is I like Dogecoin, which is going up. We'll speak about that shortly, okay? But also, I like the fact that EBON has that solid chart and some solid support at the $4 mark, and I see that it wants to push higher. I think this stock is probably worth north of $10, but it's got to take baby steps first. So if I can make a quick trade, buying the $5, calls at 62 cents, and I think they were at, let's see where EBON's at right now, $4.33 it finished at, so that probably makes those same options worth 74 cents, which implies currently a 20% gain. Now, I haven't sold yet because I'm looking for a spike. Now, I will plan ahead. So if I get that spike and someone pays me $90 per contract, or 93 because I want to make 50%, so I paid $62 per contract, I'm going to hope to get 93 per contract. With that said, Bitcoin, Doge, so a lot's going on. There's supposed to be a Doge movement tonight, today, up till tomorrow. I don't think it's going to stop. I looked at my chart. I'm thinking I'm going to exit out at just north of 52 cents. I purchased over the weekend at 30 cents, 30 and a half cents actually. So I'm looking for a quick, 80% gain, I guess. Bitcoin. Once it spikes downward over the weekend, again, to my followers, I mentioned at 53,999 or 998, I was purchasing back in. That's the same position that I sold out when I saw Bitcoin going down. So I saved about $6,000 or $5,000, which is about 10%. So I had two positions. I sold them. I bought them back. Again, the same positions. All I did is increase my portfolio value by about 10%. I have the 10% more Bitcoin now for zero amount more money. So it's always about increasing your portfolio without adding in more money, okay? So if you sell at a peak, you buy on the dip, you repeat, you're increasing your portfolio. You can stay in the same positions as well. I gave an example how I traded WIN 83 times last year for a profit of 2,500%. Again, know the stock, know it like your family, know the day ranges, know the week ranges. That way when it bottoms, you know exactly what you're looking for, you know exactly what the price will be, whether you're buying stock or options, and you're ready to roll. With that said, one more thing. QS, right? QS, they had a short report. The stock punched up real quick to, what was it, $37. I mentioned to all of Twitter that I would see that this stock would continue to fall, that we all know because we all were part of EBON and we were all part of some other short reports, SOS had a report, FTFT had a report. There were just so many. Blink had a report a long time ago at $7, then it went up to $70. So again, it takes time. The point being, when they make a short report about your company, just like when there's an offering, the first thing you want to do is sell. You do not want to get stuck. An offering means dilution. A short report means that somebody is saying negative things about your company. It generally takes the company a few days to respond, and it's too late by then. These people already planned, they purchased their put options, they sold you call options, they have a ton of stock which they've been shorting or basically flooding the market. It's supply and demand, so it's basically pushing the stock down. So back to QS, when it was $37, I shorted it after hours, okay? I bought my position back at like $35, but I said I only did that so I can go into EBON at like $4 and $4.05 that day. With that said, the stock still plummeted. It went to 35. They thought there was support. People said, oh, it's over. Screw the shorts. They're going to lose. We're going to take this back up. And then what happened? It went to 33, 32, 31. Yes, if I had put options, I probably would have returned, oh my goodness, north of 100% easily, probably north of a few 100%. All right, so those are my stocks that I wanted to speak about. Let's just go through my phone real quick, see if there are any other stocks. Again, Ford, I like it for a good swing trade. Datadog, which is DDOG. Again, I expect tech to turn around. Tech's at an all-time high. Datadog does have demand. So if you got in today and you got in cheap, congratulations. I used today to average down on a bunch of my call options. FUT, we already spoke about. Tiger spoke about. Okay, Canadian Solar. That is my favorite green energy play right now. So you have NEO, you have Excel, you have Candy, then you have Plug, Blink. There's so many. First Solar, Canadian Solar. There's another solar, Jinko Solar. Anyway, I've looked at all of them. Now, I look at volume and demand. So I know there is huge demand for Canadian solar, which is probably why it opened up this morning. I got a bit of FOMO. I took my first position a little too soon. Then you had the first dip. I took my second position, and then I waited for the actual bottom, which I alerted my followers. This is the bottom. I did not want to buy 3 positions today, but I bought 3 positions today. So when I speak about 3 positions, I teach a 25% rule. So I will be making a video, or there is a video, or we'll be releasing soon to YouTube. But it basically teaches you that if you have $1,000 for any single position, your first investment will be 25% of that. So $250. So it doesn't matter if you're doing stock or options. Your first buy is $250. Then I have a rule on how to average down. But again, you'll probably have to watch that video. I don't want to take up too much time. Let's just see if there's any other stocks I wanted to speak about. QS, Mara lost 8%. I mean, it's tough with Mara and Riot and the Bitcoin stocks. Again, I think Bitcoin is going to definitely pop sometime soon, maybe 61,000 by the end of the week. If it takes over the weekend, so be it. Unfortunately, I don't know how these stocks are going to react. So that's my problem. Or else I would tell you, buy Mara, buy Riot, whatever, or I'm buying these 2 stocks. I can't say that because if the NASDAQ goes down and Bitcoin goes up, it doesn't matter. Those stocks will go down. It's all supply and demand. And if the NASDAQ's going down, people will not be purchasing. So that's the psychology of trading. If the market's going down, no one's going to be buying. No one's going to save your stock unless there's a catalyst. Something just happened here. No clue. Okay, I'm back online, it looks. Hopefully you guys didn't disappear. All right, so Palantir, I mentioned this morning, it could dip as low as 21. It did. I did not buy more. Let me just see. Tesla, don't really want to speak about because they have that, pending accident or whatever happened, killed some people. They say that the car, I don't know. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Let's look at any other stocks that I have. No, but somebody is moving this around on my screen right now, which means I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, so there it is. So you guys will hear that. Let's get rid of this. Okay. All right, I'm ready for some questions. So let me go over here and see what you guys are talking about and see if we've got some questions. So if you have specific stock questions, please talk. Okay, so Oracle. I announced that I sold my Oracle today because I noticed a downward spike. I am worried about the market. So whether it's tech or the Dow, I'm just playing it safe. I'd rather secure my profit. So what was that, 9% in 2 weeks? So exit out, put the money on the side, and repeat the same play. Next, TRIT, T-R-I-T. I don't know where it is right now. It's got to be probably like 736 or something to that extent. I'm just looking to see if anybody put it down there. Again, the catalyst I'm looking for is the first or second week in May when they finally come out with their 4th quarter earnings, which I expect to be extremely good. 1 second. All right, so you guys know this is live, plus I don't edit my shit. Excuse my language. I drink, sometimes I have a cigarette. I'm all about you guys. So let's go back to TRIT, okay? T-R-I-T. Again, there's huge institutional buying. There's huge demand. I know that other gurus have spoken about short squeeze and a short squeeze coming. But if there were really that many short interests, as I mentioned previously, I would be able to manipulate that stock down. And you're not seeing that. So the short, although there might be an interest at play, they're not manipulating the stock right now. So once the catalyst happens, which again, I believe the first or second week in May, I think that stock will be, north of 9, possibly north of 10. Each quarter last year, they increased the number of users that were using their platform and the amount that was being traded. So that's what I'm expecting again. Let's see the next question. DraftKings. So I think it'll fall more before earnings. Okay. So DraftKings is tough. I do follow it. I think I was 65. Now it's maybe 56. It's crazy because I know Kathy Wood likes it. I know a ton of institutions like it. I keep hearing numbers like $88, $90, $92. Yet it keeps dropping $1.50 or $2 here or $1.80. So my whole premise behind sports wagering, okay? DraftKings, as far as their fantasy goes, and their fantasy drafts and all those competitions and contests they have, that's not where they're going to make the money. They're going to make it with online gambling, online sports betting. So whoever the leader is in the industry, as far as getting the most states, I don't know if it's Dave Portnoy and his Penn National, or if it's DraftKings, or if it's Bedova, or anything else. I use an illegal site personally. I used to use a bookie in all transparency. He started calling me sharp money, and then no one would take my bets. Matt, what's going on with all small cap tech stocks? Okay, so how do you know when the market's done capitulating, okay? And this is sort of small cap tech stocks. You look at stocks like Blink, which is now $33 from, what was it, 60 or 70? I think it could go down to 27. You look at Plantier. If Plantier hits 19, I believe that's the absolute bottom for that stock. I'd be shocked if it goes any lower. But there are a whole lot of stocks like that. I think Plug is back at what, 28, 29, maybe 27, maybe 25. You guys, and when I say you guys, I mean the millennials, the new traders, they took all this new technology like fuel cell, FCEL. When I was watching it, it was $2.41. Then they did an offering and went all the way down to $2.15. Within a week, it was $2.75. And then it went all the way up to like, what, $19. I mean, that happened with a bunch of stocks that are similar. I mean, people look at Solo, which is like an electric car company. They make these really ugly like trikes and things like that. People pushed it up from $2.68 when I alerted it, and we're talking about 2020 when I alerted towards the end of the year because I was into candy and all those stocks. And it went from $2.68 all the way north of $7.50. Then I think you guys might have pushed it, or people pushed it north of $9, and then it came back down, and now it's probably like $3. So my fear, just if you're an FT or FTFT, BTBT, SOS, look at what these prices were before they took off. I know FTFT was like $1.78 because I got into it one night and I wrote it up to $2.78 the next day and then a little higher and then it was $5. Point is, these stocks could retrace pretty hard. So I think FTFT is in the $3 range. As long as you know they're a profitable company, which I don't know if they are. Again, watch my Bitcoin video on YouTube if you want to learn more about Bitcoin. I simplify it. I try and explain it to you. But the point is, research your companies. Research how much cash your companies have on hand, okay? It's very important because, as I mentioned, offerings are bad. Offerings mean dilution. So let's go back to DraftKings. So yeah, people said that $88, I know it's heavy in demand, but the market is just so tough right now. The reason I actually closed out a position like Oracle today, even though I really, really like the stock, and I still think it's going to 100, is because I'm scared. I'm scared of the market. It just seems so frothy, and I've used that term a lot, frothy. You know, on the top of a drink, I'll add froth. I don't drink coffee, but it's that froth on top, or beer. Like you pour a beer and you get that froth on top. It just seems like it's inflated. Now, there are some good stocks, but the same way I'm pointing that out, the institutions know this. So when they're putting their investors' money to work, they're buying Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, Tesla. I mean, that's what they're buying, okay? And those are expensive stocks. So they can put a lot of money there and it still doesn't really change, you know, the pricing all that much. You know, maybe it goes up 1%, 1.5%. It's a safe play. The market's at peaking, it's at an all-time high, it still is going higher, but your stock's going down. That means the valuation of your stock is off, okay? One real quick, in case I have any new people, all right? Let's speak about cannabis stocks real quick, all right? Everybody's like, yeah, cannabis stocks are going to explode. They're illegal in this state. New York just legalized, you know, whatever it is. Let me tell you, I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old. I grew up in New York City. I went to high school in the Bronx, at Bronx Science, okay? My point being, just because these stores are legal to sell them, and I have a card, so I'm legal to buy it, does not mean I purchase in the stores. I purchase from a friend, from a good source. I get the same items sold in the stores. You know, the oils, instead of $99, I get them for $30. I can get them as cheap as $18 if I buy more. Same thing with the other products that these stores offer. So Sundial specifically, at $1, I told everybody, get out. It's not even worth $1. Someone said, I'm going to wait till $2. That's my price target. All right, $2, they said they wanted $3. I think that's where it started. Now I think it's 85 cents. I warned you guys at $1. You know how much weed they would have to sell to become a $1 to a $2 company? I think they have 1 billion or 2 billion shares out, so they probably have to sell 1 billion more just pure profit of weed. Let's see what else we got here. SNRE, why is that different? I'm not really sure what the question was, but I happen to like that stock. So look at SNRE if you guys want to learn real quick. Look at the 1 month chart, and you'll see that there is more inflow than outflow for the past 4 or 5 days. That tells me we're finding a baseline around 750. I bought 2 positions today. I believe I entered in at 768 and then I believe I entered it at 748 or 749, basically taking me to an average of 759, and the stock is probably, what, 749 or something? Let's see, I don't even know where it is. Let's see, sorry guys, 749, okay. So again, I don't pay attention to after hours or pre-market because less than 1% of trading happens. All right, somebody give me some more stocks. OCGN, I want you guys to give me stocks that I actually have to look up. OCGN, I think, is a good company. However, it loses 5% every day. So I have some bags. I think I have 3 or 4 positions there. And positions for me mean 1,000 shares per position. So if I have 4, I probably have $4,000. 4,000 shares, sorry, probably like what? Now it's only probably 24,000. I think the stock's in $5 range. Point is, I keep saying ticking up, and I keep waiting for it to explode, and it hasn't yet, and there are bag holders, so every time that stock spikes, you sell off. When you look at Romeo Energy, when it spiked to 60%, we sold that day, finally took profit, and then now everybody else is a bag holder. I think Romeo is back in the $8 or $9 range. Yes, I have an in-the-money rule for options. I have a lot of option rules on my platform. They're very specific. They're laid out to help you. They all follow similar rules to stocks. Is there an echo? Yes, there's an echo, but that's not a stock. SPI, again, it's a green energy or an energy stock. It's tough right now. They're all battling. First Solar, NEO, SPI, Romeo. So I like SPI, but I don't control the market. I don't control the stock market. There are things, there are value that I see, and I try and share that with you. But if everybody went off what I said, you know, I would be the oracle. All right, so skills. I know people have asked about that, but I haven't looked at the chart. So let's give it a look so I can show you guys exactly what I'm seeing. So anyway, first thing I do is I open up the 5-day chart to look at it. Unfortunately, it looks like every other stock. It took a crap this morning, but nothing about this stock looks good. It has such negative sentiment. So what I'll do is I'll go to the 1-month chart now, and I'll look at the bottom. So the good news is volume is picking up. The bad news is the volume 5 out of the last 8 days has been negative, and the bearish volume is stronger than the demand volume. So right now, as I mentioned, I think this was $20 when I said this is going down. So yeah, we're at $14. When do I see an end? Let's just see. I don't see an end. It's only going to end when it bottoms out. So again, if you look at SNRE and look at the 1-month chart and then look at the last 5 trading days, you'll see more inflow than outflow, okay? That's one thing. Someone mentioned Genius. Okay, I don't really know Genius, but I'll look it up. I know that people say to invest in Genius around Christmas time because maybe they do holiday gifts or something like that for small kids. Yeah, okay. So to me, this is a meme stock because they were talking about it and then they pushed it up. I don't know if their earnings, when you see their chart, so I'm looking at the 3-month chart. Now it looks like a spike, and it looked like it covered about 2 days, and then it dipped. It hovers around the bottom. It finally spiked up for maybe a 1 or 2 week period, and then let's see, there are probably a lot of bag holders. Yes. So if you look at the analysts and you scroll down, you'll see all this yellow on the screen. Can you see that? Those are people's average pricing. So those I call bag holders. When it's a little green and a lot yellow, that just means people can't wait to lose their bags. Some people can't wait for it to get to $1.90. They're breaking even. They're selling. Others are going to look for it to go higher. It's going to struggle. So XL, like Candy, like NEO, like all those stocks, they're going to struggle until Biden passes his green initiative. This $1 trillion bill that he's working on, $2.9 trillion that he's talking about, it was going to pass, then he's going to wait so Republicans can join on. When's he going to pass this thing, all right? It's got money for materials, for raw goods, to improve the infrastructure. It has money for the EV market, for the green energy. But no, nothing. I mean, so that's going to be a catalyst, I think. Am I missing something? I thought this thing was gonna pass. Genius is a type of TV. I don't know if that's true. Someone will make a joke. Yes, there's an echo. We're going to figure this out. It's my first YouTube stream. I'm trying to do a good job. Let's just go. Ford's good right now. Yeah, so you guys know I like Ford for swing trade. I like Datadog. Okay, I almost sold Datadog this morning when I was profitable on it, and I was going to buy it back cheaper. And I only say that because I told you guys that I'm looking for the morning dip. So if I tell you there's a morning dip coming and that there's a dip every day, why the heck wouldn't I sell when it spiked? Well, I'll tell you why I didn't sell. Because I was busy tweeting to you guys, trying to show you stuff, and I figured as I always do, it won't be a significant drop, and it'll pick right back up. But again, for the last 3 trading sessions, Thursday, Friday, and Monday, we saw a spike at the open, then a dip, maybe a respike, a retracement. Then we see the lunchtime dip where it goes. Then we see a little turn upwards, and then around 220, it's like a false hope. It turns back down, and the market ends flat. The next day we have hope because the market starts up, and then the same exact thing happens. Today was the 3rd day in a row. I'm going to hold off on this cigarette. I'm going to look at Chewy right now because I've heard some things about Chewy, and I've heard it's been moving like crazy. I don't follow the stock. Okay, so yeah, it was as high as 118. Wow, that's nuts because I remember it was in the 50s. All right, yeah, 54 here. They pushed it to 108. Then there was a sell-off in March when the market was tanking for 2 weeks from 118 down to, it looks like 80. But it wasn't high volume. There was high volume after earnings when it went from $84 back to $80. But no, Friday and today, it just looks like a market sell-off. It actually looks like there was small demand, nothing major. So yeah, this could be a great time to get in. So you look at Chewy, you can look at NVIDIA, you can look at D-Dog, you can look at tech as a whole just dropped today. So this is the NASDAQ stock. So the New York Stock Exchange stock. The point is, I would be cautious with this one. I don't know the valuation on it. But it could easily pop if the market reverses for like 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and pop an extra 10% back to $87. In fact, it went from 87 to 80 to 85 to 80 to 84.5 to 80. Then it pops 87, and now it's on its way down. So yeah, whenever it bottoms, if it bottoms tomorrow morning, let's say, and you see some type of turn, you might want to enter with a 25% rule. Because the point is, you're head and shoulders trading it. So it's another strategy. At $79, it's a buy. At $87, it's a sell. So that's a 10% move. If you wanted to play options, you could go out 5 or 6 months and go for like September options and choose the September 90 calls, let's say. I'll give you an example. Since I have my phone, I'll let you know how I look it up. So I'll go to, let's go to October actually, because I don't see September. And we'll go to the $90 calls. And they're $7.50 about, $7.48. So I would buy those calls. If you get the 10% move this week in the stock, let me just check out what the delta is on these. Okay, it's about 44. So the point is, if the stock moves 10%, or let's say the stock moves $10, okay, you multiply it times 44. So it's a $4.50 move. So if you're buying this option for $7.50 and you add $4.50, right? Now you're at $11.90. So that's where I would look to sell it if I'm right. I might actually sell it a little less. I might sell it for like, $11.50. I paid $7.50. I'll make $4, which would be about 55 to 60%. So always do the math in your head. Or use a calculator, decide if I buy out this option and it goes up 10 points, multiply it times the delta, you'll understand what the option price movement will be, and then you'll say to yourself, well, if the option moves $4.50 and I pay $7.50, add 4.5 to 7.5, and it'll come up with 12. And then you take away maybe like 10 cents or 20 cents, because if someone's buying your option, you want to give them a little incentive to buy it. Same with, Tiger options. So people ask me, let's use that as a real quick example, just because I'm familiar with it. So we'll go to the Tiger options. We're going to go to May, the $17.50 calls. And these went as low as the other day, maybe $2.25 or $2.40, because I bought them at $2.80, then it dipped. So people got in at $2.50, $2.40, $2.60. $2.80 again this morning. That's as low as they dipped today. $2.80. They went as high as $4.38. So again, if you planned it ahead and you bought them at $2.80, you want to make 50% profit today, you could have put in a sell order at $4.20 per option contract, and it would have been executed. So one-day trade, you could have made 50%. With that said, again, my favorite stock. Let me just see if we have any other stocks. NVIDIA just released some news. Yeah, plus there was major profit taking in them today, so it wouldn't surprise me if they released some type of bad news, because the institutions are generally ahead. Remember, they rode NVIDIA up. This is before I gave it out. It was $515. When I gave it out as a volume alert and a demand alert, it was $582 that day. So they wrote it up $70, which is 15%. Then from 582 to 640 is another 11%. So they basically rode that stock up over 25% probably in the last 30 trading days. So not only is the market getting frothy, so that there was selling going on, but any type of news whatsoever, if it's not outstanding, same with earnings reports. Right now, if your company has an earnings report release, it better be top-notch or else you're in trouble. People are looking for top-notch earnings, like crushing. All right, Band. I don't know Band, but I'm actually going to look it up. So when I look it up, I'm just looking at the chart, I'm looking at the demand, and I'm trying to share with you guys exactly what I'm saying. Okay, it's called Bandwidth. All right, so I'm looking at the 1 year chart. It looks nice. I'm looking at the 3 month chart. There's been demand since we had those 2 bloody weeks. So when you go about March 9th, there's been more inflow than outflow. Probably the ratio is probably something like 20-5, maybe 20-6. That's extremely strong. So just by looking at the 3 month, I can tell you that if I were going to invest, Band looks good. So now I go to the 1 month and I break it down. Again, I'm looking at inflow, maybe you guys can see, versus the outflow. The chart looks good, okay? Of course there are dips in there, but there are dips in the market. Volume was light for the last 2 weeks, but going back to Thursday and Friday, there was probably a little heavier demand. So yeah, I like this stock so far. There are only 25 million shares outstanding, so it's a low float. Its high in the 52-week range was close to 200, so it implies to get back to that high, it could easily go another 50% to the upside. The market cap is $3.3 billion. So again, I'm not sure if that's fair in their sector, but I've seen some market cap of some companies that go for like $39 billion, $40 billion. Coinbase, I think, was valued at $69 billion or $59 billion. And they're just a normal company. Yes, they're a trading platform, but I mean, what makes them so, I mean, they have more valuations of some small banks, some institutions. All right, so price per book, 7.7, low turnover, negative earnings per share, I never like that. Forward earnings per share, 1,372, not a fan of that. So if you know they're gonna have earnings, or they have a plan, or you follow the stock and you have a catalyst, that's good. I won't talk about Bingo. I see someone's trying to bring that up. Unfortunately, Bingo falls into that category of a bioscience company. It's like throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. So 1 out of every 15 of these bioscience companies are just going to explode. And we saw Bingo explode from 7 or 6 or 5 all the way up to $12. And if you're still in Bingo at $12, you should have been taking profits. In fact, if you're ever gifted anything, like SOS one day was a play from the Reddit boys, and they took the stock north of $6 from $4. If somebody gives you a gift that there's no reason your stock should be where it is, it just bounces high for a reason, like Romeo, all right? They came out with the contract news, and the stock bounced 60%. It was a gift, and I knew there'd be consolidation. So anytime your stock also moves, say it moves 10, 20% north to the high side, there's probably going to be consolidation. Well, what does that mean? It means that people are selling after hours the next day. They're securing profit. They're happy they made X percent. If you had FOMO or you chased, you got in. They're selling. You're holding. You become a bag holder. Romeo, for instance, dropped from $12.89 when we sold all the way to $9, probably $8 and change, but $9, let's say. That's a $4 move from $13. 4 over 13, that's about, what, 35%? What's great is Max is watching the indicator. You have plenty of noise. I'm sorry about the noise, guys. But everything I do on my phone. So I simplify it for you. I show you the simplest things. 5-day chart, 1 month chart, 3 month chart. These are the things I want you to look at. Inflow versus outflow, okay? Then how much money does this company have on hand? Are they even close to doing an offering? Do they need money for anything? All right, I saw this one twice. AYTU, okay? Again, don't know the company. AYTU. Biopharma again. Okay, so a month ago it was $9.70. Looks terrible, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this one looks bad. Yeah, it looks really bad. Somebody was buying the other day, or was it today? No, in the beginning of January. No, I would stay very clear of this company. AYTU. I do not like the chart at all. Again, if they have catalysts coming up, or something that's going to make it spike and you're sure about it and you're holding, yeah, I don't want to scare you out of it. I'm saying, me looking at this company, if someone says to me, hey, do you want to invest in this company? My answer, just by looking at, let me just look at a more solid chart, like a 1 month. I can tell you the deceleration is slowing down, meaning less and less people are selling. But I already pointed out a stock that I saw the deceleration was slowing down. SNRE, Sorrentino. It's got 5 more days of inflow than outflow. That's how you tell the deceleration is slowing down. Okay, ACXC. Okay. Hi, Amy. ACXC. Okay. What? ACXC? Did I get that right? AS. Sorry, you spelled it wrong, and I, of course, copied it wrong. XC. Surgical. Hey, oh, and Amex. Oh. Okay, well, the good news, same as the last stock. It looks like the deceleration is slowing down, meaning the people that hate this stock and that were selling it at $4.23 and we're selling it at $3.50 and $2.81 and $2.21, it looks like it's slowing down. So yes, if you want, it's a pretty cheap stock, you could follow it. I wouldn't be purchasing yet. It looks like it dipped today to 162, so if I was going to enter into this stock, ASXC, I would look to enter in at probably $1.60 or $1.58. If I get that bounce down there tomorrow, great. If it happens later in the week, great. I would also be cautious because I don't know the stock, so I would use 25% roll. But again, I don't know that. Brazilian companies. Is that the oil company? PBR? Petro Brazil, is that what it is? Yeah, I don't even need to look at it. I wouldn't be looking at Petro Brazil. If you're looking at oil companies or gas companies, I would look at best of class. How long have we been going on for? 41 minutes, holy cow. All right, so we're gonna do 3 or 4 more minutes. Okay, SONN, you just picked up FUTU. Yeah, I mean, it's not so bad. I mean, you got in 3% over me, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So NEE. I did look at that the other day, and I did not like it. And I told someone about it. All right, but I'm looking at it now, and why wouldn't I have liked this? Looks pretty darn strong. The selling that you saw today looks like consolidation. It looks like it's the market. Now, I don't know how high this one could go. Okay, I don't know how high it could go, but it looks like people were buying this stock at $73, $74. I mean, they've been buying it since March 9th. So since we had those 2 bloody weeks, it seems that people have been buying this stock. It has maybe 6 down days, probably 20 good days, more demand days. But again, it looks a little frothy. If the market capitulates a little or sells off by 10%, I would not want to be in this stock because it'll go back to 73. If the market stays strong, if green energy does well, Canadian Solar, First Solar, NEO, Candy, all these companies, Plug, Blink, if it turns around, then yeah, I mean, this could be leading the way. I don't know the company, but again, the demand looks there. The volume is definitely not there. The demand is there, the volume is not there. Sorry, everybody. I already spoke about tricks, so please go back and watch this. EXPI, again, we got about 3 more minutes. I don't want to kill anybody by boring them to death, but I like being able to look at stocks for you guys because I don't have to know the stock to tell you what my thoughts are based on volume and based on inflow versus outflow. Okay, this stock, EXPI, looks like Expo World or EXP World. Definitely spiked. I wish I knew more about this stock so I could tell you why it spiked in February to $80 because it's definitely selling at a pretty big discount right now. However, I'm looking at the 3-month, which looks terrible. The 1 month, which looks terrible. You went from $51 to $33. I'm going to look at the 1-day chart. It looks terrible, and the 5 day is going to look terrible as well. So I don't know. I'm just going to look at some numbers here. High PEs. I don't know. Ooh. Good amount of shares outstanding. Market cap of $4 billion, close to $5 billion, which means they were valued earlier this year close to $15 billion. Until I would know more about this company, I wouldn't know more. Meaning that if I don't know their valuation, I like to put valuations on companies without looking at this. So I take the company and I take the number of shares and I say, I think it should be worth $50 a share, and they have 100 million shares out, so that implies a valuation of, $50 billion. And then I look, and if the valuation is like 22 billion, I say to myself, okay, this stock could double. So I do sort of things like that. I do a lot of guesswork. If you guess first before you look at the price, so say you use a tracker or you're just tracking the market, and you look at it and you see your tracker is up 3%, and you do the correlation, you figure your stock should be up maybe 6%. And then you guess and you look at your stock, and if it's up 6%, it means you're learning how to guess or make assumptions. All right, I taught a lesson today on asymmetry, and I thought the market was going to look completely symmetric, which means if you put a mirror down the bottom, what you saw in the morning would reverse around 1 o'clock or 1:50, and then it would come up in the same pattern, okay? That did not happen. Again, what we saw Thursday, Friday, and today was the same thing. Market opens higher, goes down, spikes a little, false hope, goes down more. Then you get that U-shaped recovery, which never actually happens because they sell again around 2:30 to 3 p.m., and then it just drags out flat. Again, I'm waiting for the late day spike. The institutions have figured it out, so they would do that. Did I miss the Roku discussion? No, I mentioned this morning I wanted to get out of Roku. I wanted to sell my one option. I wanted to sell my stock and secure my profit, and I wish I had done that on Friday instead of entering into a one option swing trade that cost me $2,400 or maybe $2,700 actually, and $45, I believe. So yeah, it was down so much today, but again, I think it was profit taking. Same with NVIDIA. Profit taking on something that's just done extremely well. When I hear institutions and other smart individuals talk about Roku, they talk about all streaming platforms have to somehow encompass or go through Roku. So I actually think Roku's gonna perform better. I might actually hold on to it instead of trying to sell my position. I was only trying to sell my position because I'm a realist. So if I tell you guys or give out alerts of stocks I'm entering into, you need money. No one has unlimited money. So how do I keep giving out, here's an alert, here's an alert, here's an alert, here's an alert? Yes, my options are killing me. So anybody that doesn't follow me, please look on Twitter, the public Twitter. I show my results for my option plays. Private Twitter, it's always pinned to my my profile, my updated spreadsheet. But my option plays, I think I have 4 or 5 losing plays in red and probably 18 to 19 positive option plays, and they range anywhere from 50% to the best option play was a Tesla option play at $2.97, or sorry, a lot of money, 297%. I'm losing my mind right now. But the only option play on my spreadsheet that I say is not risky, which means I think there's absolutely no risk, were the Tiger options, TIGR, 17.5 made calls. $2.80. Yeah, they're $4 now. They were north of $4.20 today. I'm holding. I expect Tiger by May 21st to be north of $27. That means my options will be worth $1,000 per contract. The same options I paid $280 per contract, implying that I'm looking for like a 300% gain. Again, my favorite stock, PayPal, long-term hold. Yes, what you saw on PayPal, Square, those type of companies. First of all, profit taking today. People are scared about Bitcoin again. Bitcoin went $10,000 over the weekend. So these are institutions taking their profit, putting it inside. They're in at $2.14. I mean, $214. They're in at $204 because I was in there. $213, $215. Kramer, that idiot, was talking about PayPal at $217, $220. So now it was $274. I'd be taking profit too. Understand, these institutions have to take profit. So you guys, we're changing the strategy. Take profit, all right? I'm lighting up some positions. I did that personally. I mentioned it last week that I lightened up a ton of my stock positions. I have so much money on the side. In fact, I think I laughed about how much money I have on the side right now. So let's do one more. No, let's not. All right, excellent. I truly appreciate everybody staying for my first video. I see the influx. You know, we went over a couple hundred at some point. Playback's important. If you've got an hour or less, 48 minutes, please watch this. Fast forward the part that you already watched. The part that you did not watch, watch over it again. If you have specific questions, you know the format now. So if you want to speak about specific stocks or ask specific questions or ask about trend lines or ask about the market, I'm here for you. With that said, I've got videos on YouTube. I've got my Bitcoin video, I've got my Welcome to 349 Trading video, and I've got my How I Manipulated Stocks video. These were the first videos I shot, so they're obviously going to get better as time goes on. This is my first live stream.